and energy consumption. So what are we doing about it? We need to be owning this data, this number, and we need to take responsibility for it. So speaking of which, these are Secretary LaHood's 5 priorities. Safety is number 1, state of good repair, economic competitiveness, livable communities, and environmental sustainability. And I'm going to mostly be talking in a minute about our ITS program, and I'd just like to emphasize that in our ITS program, even though the strategic plan for ITS was developed before the Secretary came on board, we hit all 5 of these areas, and there are things we can do in transportation, in ITS in particular, that may be focused primarily on safety, but then there are other benefits that will flow from a safety improvement. So very simply, if you prevent a crash, you not only improve safety, but you prevent congestion that would have been caused by that crash. You might prevent secondary crashes attributable to the first crash. You will reduce emissions and fuel consumption because you've reduced congestion, and a livable community that's safer. You know, people want to live in places that are safe. So all of it can be rolled back up to safety. So sometimes you may hear at the DOT we talk about safety a lot, but I like to remind people that many of these other benefits flow from there. Just 2 seconds on the fact that I've been a transportation geek for a long time, since I was 7 years old. My grandfather worked for the railroad. I had an experience in junior high. Our family went to Italy to visit my grandmother, and I kept track of all the modes of transportation. So I think that's 15 different forms of transportation that we used on that trip. You know, cars, boats, trains. We put the car on a boat, put the car on a train, all kinds of things. So back in California where I was growing up, we really just drove everywhere. So I've been